If you've ever faced something truly terrifying, it's not death. It's being brought back over and over, with no end in sight. Every person here has been locked inside an iron box prison, tortured for 25 hours straight, and reset after death, endlessly. But you? You did the opposite. You turned this place into your free training ground. Everyone called you crazy. But your real plan? Save all of humanity. And just like that, you're alive again. You gasp for air, eyes snapping open. Your name is Chen Fan. 1 second ago, you were blasted to dust for refusing to surrender during your 7th tribulation. Now, you're in a dark, grim room. A scarred man is staring at you with wild, burning eyes. Brother, you're awake. I'm the one who revived you. Do you remember your own name? You ignore him. Instinctively, you try to gather your power, but there's nothing inside. Your cultivation, your pride, everything from your peak days, all gone. Right now, you're nothing but an ordinary human. Why aren't you talking? Silence makes the man angry. A sharp, burning smell fills the air. A man gets electrocuted and drops dead. Then a cold, mechanical voice fills the room. Revived, Deng Bing. Born August 1st, 2035. Southeast Asia. Your eyes go wide. What does that mean? A strange geometric formation on the floor glows faintly. A body takes shape out of nowhere, and the man who was just burned to a crisp Deng Bing stands before you completely unharmed. Zero-cost revival. You're still in shock. The revived Deng Bing rolls his neck, grins at you. See that? The tower's rules say, if I can't get your identity out of you, the mechanical arm finishes me. His expression shifts. Now it's your turn. He glances at the ceiling. A mechanical arm shoots out, giving you no time to react, pinning you hard against the wall. Deng Bing slowly walks to a hidden compartment and pulls out tools. Brother, don't blame me. Everyone in the tower goes through this. He heats the tools red hot and moves towards you. Don't resist. Just give me the names of your parents, relatives, friends. Understood? Your mind flashes with you stare at him. Right, Deng Bing says, watching your face eagerly, looking for despair. This place is called the Tower. Its only purpose is to torture people. Fire, electricity, every single day. You die, you get revived, and it starts again. Forever, no end. He adds, oh, and there's no food or water here, so you won't just be tortured. You'll die of hunger and thirst, too. Then get revived again. He raises the glowing red tool and presses it to your chest without hesitation. The burning sears your skin. The smell hits your brain instantly. Well? Deng Bing gasps, leaning in. Ready to talk now? But you don't even flinch. You just stare at him coldly, like looking at a pile of garbage. You've lost your cultivation, yes. But the terrifying soul you built over centuries of the origin stage? That's still here. Blocking pain is as easy as breathing for you. Is that all you've got? You don't feel pain? Deng Bing's wild excitement freezes on his face. He gets close and realizes not a single drop of cold sweat. A faint smile crosses your lips. No insults, no words. But the aura and the look in your eyes completely shatter Deng Bing's mental defenses. Thud. His knees give out. He collapses right in front of you. His whole body shakes. The arrogance, gone. His head knocks against the floor again and again. Teach me, please, big brother, grandfather, beg you. Teach me how to block pain. I'll do anything you want. The situation suddenly flips into something interesting. You look down at this pitiful, weak man. Want to learn? You say coldly. Because sooner or later, someone's going to do this to you too, right? Yes, yes, yes. Deng Bing nods frantically. The torture here rotates. Right now I'm doing it to you, but in 20 years someone else does it to me. It never stops. They say the one who's been here the longest has been locked up for over 2,000 years. 2,000 years. No way out. No losing your mind. Always fully awake. Always suffering. No wonder this one skill of blocking pain made him completely break down in an instant. You press your advantage. Since revival requires knowing a name, how did you wake me up if you didn't even know who I was? Trial and error, Deng Bing admits without hiding anything. If you set conditions with no exceptions, revival works. Like, surname Chen, born at a certain year, month, and minute. If only one person surnamed Chen was born in that exact minute, the formation pulls them in. If it fails, I try the next surname, going through every surname one by one. It's brutal, but given unlimited time, this formation could pull out every ancestor of humanity going back 18 generations. Just then, the electronic screen on the wall lights up, showing a blinding red number, 53%. Deng Bing's whole body jerks. He jumps up from the floor, eyes filled with panic. No more talking. I can't waste any more time. He grabs the tools and strikes your body hard again. As the sounds of your body taking damage ring out, the number on the screen jumps to 54%. See that? Deng Bing shouts, eyes red. Every time I torture you, the number goes up. My job is to keep it above 50% at all times. If it drops, the mechanical arm finishes me. He's breathing hard, gripping the tools tightly. To hit the target, I need to torture you 15 hours every day. You'll be killed completely once a day. And since there's no food or water, I reset my own body every 2 days. 3 full years. You've been here 3 years, used as prey to be tortured over and over. Every time you die, every time that cursed formation pulls you back. This sealed place, not even a fly can get in. The so-called tower is an airtight prison. You tried every way to find a weakness, but there was none. Phew, 90%. That's enough. In the room, Deng Bing collapses like a lifeless hunting dog, looking at you with a face full of exhaustion and envy. Brother, your ability to feel no pain, it's unreal. I torture you until I'm half dead, and you don't make a single sound. He shifts to a comfortable position. I'm done. Taking a nap. Old rule. If the number drops to 50%, wake me up. You answer coldly. 3 hours later, your ordinary, battered human body finally gives out. Everything goes dark. Then the familiar electronic sound rings. Revived, surname Chen. The floor's geometric formation glows. You rebuild your body. The moment you open your eyes, you don't even look at the snoring Deng Bing in the corner. You stare hard at the ceiling. Based on 3 years of survival data, after revival, there's exactly a minute and a half before the mechanical arm comes out for you. That gap, it's right now. Without hesitation, you slash yourself all over, activating burning blood art, a secret technique you seized in the cultivation world. It burns your golden mist pours out from every pore of your body. Right now you're an ordinary human, but in this one moment, the power fueled by burning your life is at its most violent peak. Without even looking, you become a blur and throw a single punch at the sealed alloy door that's been shut for 3 years. A deafening crash rings out. The thick alloy door, destroyed with one punch. At the same time, the massive recoil shatters your right arm. The sound of broken bones is painful to hear, but you don't care. The noise of the door breaking jolts Deng Bing awake instantly. He stares at you, jaw dropped. A metal corridor stretches endlessly ahead. Dense iron doors line both sides. Agonized screams fill the air. This hell is far bigger than you imagined. You haven't even run 2 steps when guards appear from both directions, expressionless, with no signs of breathing. Not living people. These guardians raise metal spheres simultaneously. In the next second, hundreds of red laser beams sweep and crisscross like a rainstorm. To dodge this at your current speed, you'd need at least a movement-type spiritual tool. But right now, you're just a burning ordinary body with nothing at all. You're instantly shattered by the high-temperature beams. Revived, surname Chen. A flash of light, and you stand once again, perfectly restored inside the room's formation. The alloy door you smashed with everything you had? Already repaired, glowing like new, not even a scratch left. The tower's higher-ups didn't even bother to show themselves. As if your heaven-shaking attempt was just dust, they casually brushed off. You stare at that door, chest heaving hard. Trapped, can't fight, can't escape. Deng Bing in the corner stares at you like you're a monster. After a long pause, he manages to say, "How did you even get out there?" You take a deep breath and push down the emotion. The guards outside, they're not human. The weapons they carry are from a different era. Deng Bing swallows hard and smiles bitterly. Even you notice that. In here, we call them the Guardians. Brother, don't waste your energy. He slumps against the wall, eyes full of despair. I've figured it out. I've been locked up here for at least 165 years. We prisoners have discussed it endlessly. No one has ever escaped. Not even a theoretical plan exists. Has anyone from the outside come to break us out? You ask coldly. Break us out? Deng Bing keeps shaking his head. This tower has stood for over 2,000 years. We all figure the outside world was probably destroyed by war long ago. Even if you escaped, there might not be a single living person out there. It's an endless hell. No way to fight. Infinite reset torture, crushing force, and a possible dead world outside. You lean against the cold wall, and a cold smile appears on your lips. Since a direct fight is a dead end, I'll exploit the system's rules. I'm going to pawn myself into a sleeping state, you say to Deng Bing. Your tone is calm as asking what's for dinner. How? My soul is far beyond normal humans, you say, skipping the cultivation world explanation and going straight to the plan. I can erase my own consciousness and enter a deep sleep. That way I feel nothing from the outside. Even if I have to stay in the tower for decades, centuries, or even 1,000 years, it'll pass in a blink. You lock eyes with him and give the order. If there's a riot in the tower, or if someone from outside comes to rescue, you must kill me immediately. The moment I lose life signs, the system resets me and wakes me up. Got it? Someone from outside coming to rescue us? Deng Bing gives a bitter laugh. I'd rather pray the earth collapses on itself. That's just an example, but if the chance ever comes, this is the only backup plan. You throw out the bait. As long as you help me watch the situation, when we get out, I'll teach you cultivation, flying, disappearing, all of it. Deng Bing's eyes light up instantly. Your bizarre performance these past days has made him treat you like a god. Deal. Any change happens, I'll wake you up immediately. Good. No more words wasted. Eyes shut. You forcefully activate a divine art, only a void formation 7th stage cultivator can use, soul departure. Even for you, a primal essence 7th transformation, using this across stages, is extremely dangerous. But here, it's the strongest tool you have to escape endless torture. Your head tilts to one side. You go completely still. Deng Bing gathers his courage, moves closer, checks your breathing. Still alive. No life signs lost, so the tower's revival system hasn't triggered. He stares at you with wide eyes. And just like that, this routine becomes your cheat code. Every day, Deng Bing tortures you until you lose life signs. You revive, stay awake for 10 minutes. Then, soul departure again, going offline. Time flies. In a blink, more than 10 years have passed. In this dark, sunless iron box, time is a joke. Then, one day, you're just revived. The moment you open your eyes, the electronic screen on the wall flashes a red countdown. 6 hours, 32 minutes, and 17 seconds. You grab Deng Bing, still snoring in the corner. Wake up! Look at the screen. Deng Bing opens his eyes groggily. The second he sees those numbers, his face goes deathly pale. It's over. It's all over. Time's up. The next cycle is here. What does that mean? You frown. It's not you I'm afraid of torturing anymore. They'll move me to another room and let someone else torture me. Deng Bing's voice trembles. Brother, you don't know how twisted the people in this tower are. Someone locked up for 100 or 200 years, that's still somewhat normal. But those locked up for 1,000 years? They're not human anymore. They're pure devil. I'm begging you, please. You shake your head. I can't teach you. This isn't an excuse. An ordinary body can't handle the soul-based secret arts of the cultivation world. The last light in Deng Bing's eyes goes out. He melts into a heap on the ground. Even his breathing sounds like despair. Taking advantage of this final moment, you ask a question that's been on your mind. Why did you go to all that trouble, using trial and error to pull me here? What were you after? A reward. Deng Bing's eyes are blank and hollow. Successfully reviving a new person earns you 1 or 2 extra years as the torturer, which means you get to suffer later. Sometimes they'd even give a sip of water, a bite of... The countdown keeps ticking. 30 minutes left. Deng Bing finally completely breaks down. He covers his face and cries like a hunted animal. I don't want to go. I can't take it. 20 more years of this torture. I'll be torn apart. Let it end. I've dreamed of this ending. Please just let it end. You watch him silently. This is a weak person's helpless collapse under absolute power. 5 minutes left. Deng Bing suddenly raises his head, face covered in tears and snot, staring at you like a man clinging to his last lifeline. Brother, you're not ordinary. You can escape, right? Maybe, you say, not making any promise. Please, burn it into your brain. Deng Bing roars at you like a madman, terrified you'll forget a single word. I am Deng Bing, the Bing with the ice radical, born August 1st, 2035 at 9:13 a.m. If you ever escape, you must revive me. I'll serve you for generations, as your follower, your servant. Do you hear me? I promise you, you say, looking straight into his eyes. If I get out, I'll bring you along. And then, the countdown hits 0. The temperature in the room spikes violently. The air turns scalding, like the inside of a steel furnace. No way to resist. You and Deng Bing are You open your eyes and gasp for air. Same room. But Deng Bing is gone from the corner. The screen lights up again. One side shows an endless list of surnames. The other shows endlessly scrolling birth dates. It's pushing you to keep playing that cruel game of trading someone else's suffering for a reward. Want me to be your slave? Dream on. You laugh coldly and completely ignore the screen. You just sit there. Time passes. Finally, the tower loses patience. The screen clicks off with a sharp snap. Then that death-like electronic voice echoes through the room again. Revived. Li Chu. Born March 13th, 1980 at 9 a.m. China. One attempt fails. Then 2, then 10, then 100. It starts forcing combinations on its own. Like a tireless machine, it repeats this name and date over and over. You watch coldly. A full month later, the geometric formation on the floor finally explodes with a blinding light. A massive, shadowy figure twists in the glow and takes solid form, crashing hard onto the floor. Your new cellmate, Li Zhu, has arrived. But the moment he lands, he doesn't even look at you. He immediately bites his finger without hesitation and starts writing numbers in golden liquid on the floor like a madman. 39811514. While writing furiously, he mutters to himself like someone possessed, counting 50, 51, 52. You watch this bizarre scene coldly. When the screen shows 60%, he finally lets out a long breath, quickly adding 2,250 at the end. Instantly, the ceiling mechanical arm shoots. You raise an eyebrow. Li Zhu stares at the golden numbers on the floor, breathing hard, afraid you'll erase them. Looks like you haven't been in the tower long. Your mind's still working normally. You say nothing. The numbers on the screen start dropping, from 60%, falling fast toward 50%. According to the tower's rules, you're the torturer now. If you don't hurt Li Zhu, you'll be punished. Go on already. Look at this number. It's about to hit the red line. Li Zhu gets anxious. If you don't act, the mechanical arm will fry you. You don't even look up. You think I'm going to be your free labor for this tower? Dream on. Worst case, I get 4 eyes wide. Blue electric arcs explode. High-voltage electricity rips through your body violently. The smell of burning fills the room instantly. Li Zhu's eyes go wide. He expected you to scream and beg, but you just lie there in the lightning, completely expressionless, not even a frown. And in the last moment before your body burns away, the look in your eyes still carries a mocking calm, like watching dust, an absolute pressure. Revived, surname Chen. Light flashes again. You're fully restored, casually rolling your neck as if nothing happened. Li Zhu is completely stunned, voice shaking. You laugh coldly and go straight for the real point. What's played praise by your inhuman toughness? Li Zhu stops playing games and reveals the truth. That's our exact entry time into the cycle of the rotation. He swallows hard, staring at you. 39th year, 8th month, 15th day, 14 hours, 22 minutes, 50 seconds. Based on my calculations, the tower's rotation intervals are always whole numbers. With this absolute precise starting point, I can calculate the exact time of the next rotation. And what does knowing that get us? A way out, you say coldly, using a weakness in the Guardian patrol system. Li Yu's eyes burn with intensity. Those Guardians have no emotions. They follow procedures rigidly. As long as the rules don't say we can't talk, even if they hear us plotting an escape right now, they can't stop us. And just like that, time flies. A full year passes. Throughout that year, you'd rather get fried by the mechanical arm daily than bother torturing Li Zhu. You can block pain anyway. Being a detached bystander beats being the tower's unpaid worker. But this effortless attitude of yours completely destroyed Li Zhu's last wall of defense. He became convinced you're an absolute powerhouse, and that you'd spared his life. Finally, he throws his true last card on the table. Have you heard of the space station? Li Zhu lowers his voice, excitement barely contained. In outer space, up there are survivors who escaped from the tower. Space station. You immediately latch onto the core idea. Your mind races. Self-destruct, then have the people up there revive you. Exactly. Li Zhu slaps his knee in excitement. It's less of a jailbreak and more of the space station competing with the tower for people. He explains rapidly. The space station's machines are continuously cycling through surnames and birth dates, starting from 1900, trying to revive all of humanity. As long as the station calls your name at the exact moment you lose life signs on this side, the two formations connect, and you get pulled straight into space. Out of this hell for good. You immediately catch the flaw in the plan. The probability is way too low. Your cold smile is sharp. All of humanity across thousands of years. This is like winning the lottery. Only about a 1 in hundreds of thousands chance. Li Zhu stares at you, eyes full of obsession. Some people have been here 1,000 years and never hit a single connection window. But this is the only hope. We have to bet. You stare coldly at Li Zhu. What's your real plan? You can't be relying on luck alone. We calculate it. A crafty glint crosses Li Zhu's eyes, words firing fast. The space station revives people in order, starting from 1900, sorted by surname. As long as we self-destruct at the exact second they call our name, we'll be pulled in 100%. We time it perfectly. You frown. How do you know what? Li Zhu smirks. That's my absolute reference point. 6,139th year, August 15th, 14 hours, 22 minutes, 50 seconds. He points at the screen on the wall. That screen drops 1% every 36 minutes. It's our clock. The space station has a rule. They must revive 10 people per minute. Feed all the data in, and you can calculate the exact moment they'll call our names. Incredible. You quietly let out a sharp breath inside. 1,000 years of cultivation. You've seen countless great minds. But this seemingly ordinary man in front of you? He's a true monster in pure brain power. Can you calculate it? You ask. I'll be called on December 31st of this year, at 1:01 a.m. And you, Chen Fan? He stares at you hard. February 15th, 41st year, at 1:06 a.m. Human operation has error margins, so it can't be pinned to the exact second. But within that 1 minute, if you keep resetting, it's guaranteed. Impressive. You bow to him without wasting a word. That brain, I respect it. And time fast forwards. December 31st, 6140, 1:01 a.m. 1 hour left before Li Zhu's window. You pull the tool from the hidden compartment, toss it in your hand, ready to act at any moment. You've memorized everything I taught you about the timing, right? Li Zhu wipes sweat from his forehead, words machine gun fast as a final briefing. Once you're up there, don't get cocky. The station has moles planted by the tower. They specifically target people like us who slipped out. Stay low. Stay quiet. Thanks. Good luck to you. You grip the tool. The screen jumps from 59% to 58%, and Li Zhu starts counting down aloud. 1, 2, 3, all the way to 109. Do it. Kill me now. He snaps his head up, eyes blue. No hesitation. One strike. You hit him hard. Li Zhu drops instantly. Revived. Li Zhu. The mechanical voice rings. Li Zhu rebuilds in the formation. Failed. Time's off. Do it again, quick. The moment he lands, he screams at you. Your hand moves. One more strike. Failed again. He revives on the spot. Again. This is a race against fate. You pour out all your remaining power. The third strike hits hard. A few seconds later, revived. Li Zhu. Born 1980. The mechanical voice echoes one more time. But this time, after the light, no one in sight. Even more telling. That electronic voice keeps replaying Li Zhu's name like a stuck record for 2 full days. But it can never pull him back to this cell. He actually did it. An ordinary man, using only his mind, tore open a crack in this perfect trap. Fast forward to February 15th of the following year. The Guardian soldiers show no emotion, no new cellmate assigned to you. You sit there alone, staring hard at the screen. 1:06 a.m. I'm done playing your game. You summon every bit of energy and strike yourself hard. At the same time, without hesitation, you activate the burning blood art, instantly draining every last drop of life force. Boom! You collapse in the golden light. Revived, Chen Fan. A flash, and you're standing in the cell, perfectly restored. First try, missed. You curse silently, letting out the frustration, not wasting even half a second. You grab the tool from the ground and strike yourself again. Second try, still missed. Again, you're fully consumed by desperation. Third try, then everything changes. That familiar sensation of the formation forcibly rebuilding your body disappears. In its place, a powerful, overwhelming pulling force grabs your soul and launches it upward. You burst through the metal ceiling of the cell. Your soul keeps rising faster and faster, and as you soar, you finally see the complete view of the hell that tortured you for over a decade. It really is a metal black tower, hundreds of stories tall, with tens of thousands of iron boxes, each holding a living human being, suffering torture. But that's not all. When your soul bursts through the tower's roof and rises into the sky to look down everywhere you look, the Earth's surface, not a wasteland, but an endless steel forest, tower upon tower, standing in every direction. 10,000 towers, 100,000 towers. This isn't a prison. This is an infinite hell holding hundreds of billions of human souls. Revived, Chen Fan. You snap your eyes open. Before you can take in your surroundings, an animal-like roar explodes in your ears. You turn, right beside you. A freshly revived man is thrashing and rolling on the floor like a wild beast. The poor soul's mind has been completely broken by the tower. In moments, several large men rush in and pin him down firmly. At the same time, a woman in a white dress with a sweet face steps forward quickly, her voice incredibly gentle. "It's okay. Calm down. You've left the tower. You're safe." Under that deceptively soothing reassurance, the man slowly stops struggling. The woman stands, turns, and looks at you. Even after seeing countless breakdowns, her professional smile doesn't crack for even a moment. "Hello. Welcome to the Celestial Dome Space Station. I'm psychologist Yang Si." You half lean against the metal wall, deliberately letting your eyes look a little dark and guarded. You say nothing. Yang Si clearly isn't surprised. She continues the routine. "First revival, right? Don't be afraid. It's now 6,141 AD, over 4,000 years since your era. You see a chance to quietly learn information and drop a bombshell. Not my first." The moment the words land, the entire room goes dead silent. The men holding the other person all snap their heads toward you. Yang Si freezes on the spot. Her professional smile cracks instantly. "Impossible." She stares at you like you're a creature she's never seen before, scanning you up and down. "You came through the tower, but you're this calm? Not even a hint of breakdown. Did you get pulled out right after entering?" You give a cold smile, your tone completely flat. "About 20 years, I'd say. Is that considered long?" A collective gasp fills the room. The way Yang Si looks at you completely changes, shock mixed with undeniable excitement. 20 years? A full rotation cycle? And you're completely normal? She takes a deep breath, words suddenly speeding up. "I've been a psychologist here for 2 years. 9 out of 10 people pulled from the tower need to go straight to the recovery ward. Your mental strength is simply inhuman." She immediately starts tapping rapidly on her wrist device. "By space station standards, with a mindset like yours, you get the highest priority. I'm giving you an S-grade rating. Any objections?" "No objections. Straightforward and clean. Name, Chen Fan." You don't hesitate, because in this formation-based revival system, the soul is what's recognized. Real name, false name, makes no difference at all. "Good. Chen Fan, what are your skills?" That determines your rank. Your mind races. In your past life, you were a dominant force at the primal essence 7th stage. Medicine, formation, alchemy, all mastered. But telling these ordinary people about cultivation would be pure nonsense. Some knowledge of herbal cultivation, you pick the answer closest to a spirit farmer. The most herbal cultivation? That's a specialized skill here. Mistakes can cost a lot. Yang Si frowns, but quickly enters your information into the system. Half an hour later, you're brought to the so-called living area. Stretching before you is an endless metal honeycomb. Your quarters, a 4 square meter tin capsule pod. Below is a completely open public space with zero privacy. In a place this cramped, reproduction has long been made illegal. With everyone living so long, who even has the energy for that? Pure survival is the only instinct. Fingerprint registered? Yang Si stands at the capsule door, face extremely serious, and gives you a warning. Listen carefully. Everything in this station runs on credits. Eating, drinking, bathing, all cost credits. But that's not even the worst part. She points at the ventilation above. Just breathing consumes oxygen. Just being alive releases gas. As long as you're alive and breathing, the system automatically deducts credits. You hear this and quietly snort to yourself. These people took the calculation where you'll spend hundreds or thousands of years grinding luck again. Then she lowers her voice and leans in slightly. But if you work incredibly hard and save up several 100,000 credits, and you happen to die in an accident, the station will use your credits to buy time, calling your name non-stop for 24 hours straight to forcibly bring you back. In an instant, you understand, credits equal survival. No wonder everyone here grinds themselves to death. Thanks for the heads up. You narrow your eyes slightly and give a flat reply. Yang Si looks at the sharp lines of your profile and suddenly laughs softly, eyes carrying a hard-to-read expression. Women, in your past cultivation life, female cultivators who wanted a pill from you would throw themselves at you. There were enough of them to stretch from here to the outer skies. You have zero interest in trivial entanglements like this. Right now, only one thing is on your mind: power. You shut the pod door with a click. Close your eyes. Sense the surroundings, completely devoid of spiritual energy. Not even a trace of cultivation to hear. Your eyes snap open. A dangerously sharp light flashes in your gaze. Without spiritual energy, normal cultivation is just waiting to die. To return to your peak, there are only two paths. First, find the materials, find an alchemy furnace, and force, refine spiritual medicine. Second, you let a cold smile spread across your face. Walk the path of deviation cultivation. But this place has surveillance everywhere. Making a move openly will definitely set off a fire. The next morning, you follow Yang Si to the station's lowest level, the green branch zone. It's filled with all kinds of crops and water plants used for oxygen production and water treatment. To get your attention, Yang Si changed her look, wearing a dress with long stockings. You don't even lift your eyes. Your gaze is cold and hard. Don't play around. I'm going to be extremely busy. No time for romance. I appreciate the gesture. Stop sending messages. You want to live. You want to get stronger. Women only slow down the hand reaching for the sword. Yang Si, hit with your merciless rejection, bites her lip and gives you a complicated look, then leads you forward in silence. Shortly after, you both arrive at the public terminal in the Green Branch Zone's main hall. All new arrivals must take a test, Yang Si says coldly while entering your information. Fail it, and you go to the lower levels for manual labor. Let's begin, you say. Your file says you know cultivation. The silhouette's voice is flat, emotionless. Before we begin, good. The figure gets straight to it. The water plant behind you, what's it called? You turn and scan it briefly. In 1,000 years of cultivation, you've seen more spirit herbs and rare plants than these people have seen grains of rice. But the common earth name? You genuinely don't know. I don't know its name, you say directly, eyes locked on the screen, tone bold but certain. But I know what it can do. Stabilizes life force. Anti-inflammatory. Light smell. Cooling property. Edible. But the taste is terrible, especially for women with cold constitutions. Eat too much, and it could take half their life. A flicker of disdain crosses Yang Si's face nearby, probably assuming you're making things up. But on the screen, the silhouette suddenly freezes. Several full minutes of silence pass. Then the figure comes back online, and you can hear rare excitement bleeding through their voice. You've seen this plant before? It's hornwort. It grows in drainage ditches everywhere. Is it really that hard to find? Is it? You respond flatly. Good, daughter. 3 times. Then pointing at another pot. And that one on the left? The one with 7 leaves? Tianchi. You don't even look twice. Completely opposite of the last one. Warming, dry, replenishing, clears blockages, boosts energy, slightly bitter when chewed. Brilliant! The silhouette slams the table hard and announces without hesitation, Chen Fan, you pass. Starting today, you're the head of Green Branch Zone number 031. Anything you don't understand, ask through the terminal. The connection cuts off. The hall falls completely silent. Yang Si stares at you like you're a creature from another world, jaw dropping wide enough to fit. I work as a psychologist all day and barely earn 200 credits. Your role earns 1,000 credits a day without even trying. 1,000. You laugh coldly inside, not impressed at all, because from the very first second you walked through that door, your complete attention was locked on a few unknown algae and red-gold herbs sitting quietly in the corner of the hall. Faint, but unmistakable. You'd know it anywhere. Spiritual energy. This broken place actually has plants carrying spiritual energy. Absorb enough of them, and the initial stage of chi refinement is within reach. Once everyone has cleared out of the Green Branch Zone, you rush to that spiritual qui-bearing water plant, drop into a cross-legged position, and close your eyes. The primordial, heaven-devouring art roars to life. With the foundation of a primal essence stage cultivator, restarting your cultivation path feels as easy as drinking water. In just a few breaths, the spiritual energy inside those plants is forcibly pulled free, forming streams of white mist that tear through your pores and pour into your body. In your lower abdomen, a swirling sphere the size of an egg forms instantly. Just a little more. You clench your jaw, about to push through the initial stage of chi refinement in one go. Excuse me, is this Chen Fan? A completely out-of-place male voice explodes from behind you. You snap your eyes open, furious inside. Pressing down the sharpness in your gaze, you turn around. That's me. Say it fast. Before you stands a man in a crisp black suit. He looks you over carefully, lowers his voice. I am from the Separation Society. Chen Fan? Interested in joining us? Never heard of it. Move. You throw out 4 cold words and turn back to continue. The man doesn't leave. Instead, he drops a bombshell. You think if you just grind credits, you can survive in this station? Don't be naive. The upper ranks have completely rotted out. They never had any intention of bringing humanity back to Earth. Your hands pause. Your eyes narrow slightly. The man sees your reaction and pushes harder. People like us, the bottom level. We die and get thrown right back into the tower to suffer. But the upper ranks? They've monopolized every top resource. What they want is to keep us as generation after generation servants. Faced with the suited man's push, you watch with cold eyes and say nothing. He moves a step. The second level are the loyalists, with priority revival access. And the first level? No one's ever seen them. They even talk through heavy pixelation. They can revive endlessly, lying back and consuming the highest tier resources. On what grounds? So? Your tone is completely flat. You survived 20 years in the tower and still came out with an S-grade evaluation. You're no ordinary person. The suited man stares at you hard. The Separation Society needs you. No need to answer right away. Let me give you a piece of intel as a welcome gift. His voice drops low, tone sharp. Tomorrow night, the upper ranks will release a pack. They're deliberately creating casualties to drive people into panic, so everyone works like mad dogs to earn credits. The moment those words drop, the Green Branch Zone's main lights go out completely. Only 2 dim emergency lamps remain. The station doesn't have enough power. At night, the work zone lights and all surveillance go offline. I came to find you now because of this. He glances up at the ceiling. Stay safe. The suited man turns and dissolves into the darkness, footsteps fading rapidly. Surveillance is offline. Truly heaven-sent timing. You spin around. You lock your eyes on the spiritual qui-bearing algae in the corner. Without a moment's hesitation, you drop into position and cross your legs. The primordial heaven-devouring art kicks into overdrive. Every last trace of spiritual energy in the vicinity is pulled in like a vacuum, flowing through your pores and flooding your lower abdomen. The swirling sphere begins to spin and compress violently. Breakthrough! The energy cluster liquefies in an instant, flowing out as a stream and washing through every part of your body. Chi gathered into liquid. Chi refinement stage entered. You feel the long-lost power stirring inside and snap your eyes open. Golden light blazes in your pupils. You raise your right hand, aimed at a red-gold spirit herb 10+ meters away, and grab through the air. Like a force pulling from nowhere, that herb moves on its own, crossing the space and landing perfectly in your palm. You pocket the herb, hands in your jacket pockets, walking back to the living area like nothing happened. You step into your pod, and the moment the door opens, your brow furrows hard. Someone's sitting on your bed. It's Yang Si, dressed up, clothes slightly disheveled, her gaze suggestive. You're back. She doesn't hide what she wants, reaching toward you. You weren't replying to my messages, so I came in using your terminal's code myself. You stare at her, face blank. This woman is a pure obstacle. The spirit herb in your pocket needs to be refined immediately, or the spiritual chi will start leaking. Who has time for this nonsense? You're about to snap and throw her out. Zzzt, zzzt, zzzt. The lights overhead suddenly flicker wildly, exploding with an ear-splitting electric crackle. The entire living area's main hall plunges into a terrifying rhythm of flickering darkness. Yang Si's movements freeze instantly. Her face goes deathly pale. She scrambles for her clothes. Power surge. It's a power surge. Strange creatures are in the living area. Strange creatures. Your eyes go ice cold. Wasn't it supposed to be tomorrow night? Hide quickly. Yang Si shakes all over. Hide where? You grab her by the collar and lift. Listen, if those are ultra-luminous jellyfish, this tin box room is no shelter. Before you even finish, a sound like a deep-sea whale singing echoes through the hall. You kick the door open and look out. A handful of semi-transparent jellyfish the size of small buildings drift through the air like ghosts, dozens upon dozens of tentacles tracking every living thing in the hall. They're here. Yang Si lets out a scream, instinctively charging toward the external metal ladder. Your pod is at the very top of the honeycomb, over 10 meters above ground. But one tentacle from a jellyfish. You grab Yang Si around the waist. No time for her to react, and plant one foot on the metal railing. In the middle of Yang Si's screaming, you pull her with you and leap without hesitation from more than 10 meters up. Wind tears at your ears on the way down. The moment you land, your spiritual power explodes outward and floods your legs. A heavy thud. The metal floor caves in under your feet, leaving a clear imprint. You land perfectly, not even a bent knee. You release Yang Si and raise your head, eyes locking onto the massive jellyfish overhead. A cold, sharp smile crosses your lips. Yang Si instinctively screams, face suddenly flushing. You grab her arm and pull her straight into a sprint toward the emergency exit. The living area main hall has turned into pure chaos, people crawling and tumbling out of their pods from every direction. Past the emergency exit door, you whip around and stare at the disaster unfolding in the hall. No question, this is the worst close encounter you've ever witnessed. A few jellyfish, their hundreds of tentacles once bunched tightly, now spread apart all at once, moving with lightning speed. Slash, flash. The tentacles dart like lightning, snatching up dozens of unlucky people and lifting them into the air. In just seconds, those stung by the poisoned tips don't even get to scream. Their bodies dissolve at an unbelievable speed. This place doesn't even have a decent laser weapon? Your face goes dark. You lower your voice and ask Yang Si sharply. Nothing works, Yang Si says, gripping your sleeve, voice shaking like a leaf. Physical attacks, energy weapons, everything passes straight through them. It's like they don't exist. That helpless feeling, no way to fight back, pure prey, makes your chest surge with violence. If you still had your primal essence stage power from your past life, a few jellyfish like these wouldn't even be worth extracting their essence for formation materials. But right now, all you can do is watch them absorb enough energy, let out a clear, ringing tone, and then their bodies shift from solid to void, vanishing into thin air. Phase shifting, spatial transfer. You stare at the spot where the jellyfish disappeared, fist clenched tight. In this danger-filled world, weakness is the original sin. You must get stronger. As fast, more than half a month passed. In that time, you became a ruthless spiritual qui-extraction machine. During the day, in the Green Branch Zone, you openly absorbed spiritual energy from the sea algae. At night, you'd pocket a few red-gold herbs, take them back to your room, and refine them at full intensity. The Chi refinement stage arts, for a primal essence veteran like you, rebuilding cultivation was as simple as eating and drinking. Finally, with relentless, aggressive effort, your inner energy was fully replenished. Chi refinement Mid-stage breakthrough. One evening, the Green Branch Zone had barely hit closing time when Yang Si was already there, right on schedule. Half a month of time together had settled her down somewhat. She stopped throwing herself at you, but the way she looked at you just kept getting more complicated. My God, you look completely different. She moved close to your face, eyes full of disbelief. The cultivator's purification water had noticeably refined both your skin and your entire presence. You glanced at her and joked casually. So, more charmed than before? What started as small talk turned strange. Yang Si, out of character, didn't fire back. She stared at you with unwavering focus. Just then, a male voice interrupts, at exactly the wrong time. Sorry to bother you. You turn to look. It's the suited man from the Separation Society. His eyes hold barely contained excitement as he looks at you. Ask your companion to step aside for a moment. You give Yang Si a tap on the shoulder. Go ahead. Yang Si holds your gaze for a moment with a deep look, then turns and walks off. You really are no ordinary person. Once the area is clear, the suited man gets straight to the point, excitement in his voice. That night, you jumped from over 10 meters with someone in your arms and didn't even bend a knee. Our people saw it clearly. Hearing that, your eyes drop to ice temperature. You surge a sharp wave of pressure straight at him. You were watching me. You step forward and lock your gaze on his eyes. Your voice is blade sharp. Who are you, really? The suited man stumbles back half a step under your aura, quickly raises his hands in a dry laugh. Easy, easy. In that kind of chaos, standing out the way you did, of course we noticed. No ill intent. Good. You pull your gaze back coldly. Next time, keep your eyes to yourself. The suited man swallows hard and rushes to get to the point, now bombarding you with pitches. I came today to ask if you'd consider joining us. Have you heard of mechanical power armor? He gets more and more excited. We managed to get our hands on the latest model, the C-21. Maximum thrust, 10 tons, equal to 5 SUVs hitting you at the same time. But it takes extremely strong mental focus to operate. Your mind immediately calculates, at your current chi refinement midstage, your body can barely handle 10 tons of force without serious bone and muscle damage. These ordinary people actually built something interesting. Battery life? You cut straight to what matters. Full power for 1 hour. Standby for half a month. The suited man sees your interest spark and immediately throws out more. If you don't like the armor, we also do mechanical modification. Replace limbs, even organs, with machine components. Biological nervous system speed combined with mechanical destructive force. Phantom pain, meaning your body thinks the removed parts are still there, even when they're gone. Very common side effect. You hear him out, and the corner of your mouth twists into a mocking smile. When there's an immortal cultivation path of countless lifetimes right in front of you, and instead you're playing around with this backwards nonsense? Laughable. Even with a 40% failure rate, you can still revive. The suited man keeps rattling in your ear. You're barely listening, laughing inside at every word. These ordinary people's most powerful tool is, at best, the combat level of early foundation stage in the cultivation world. Still has to suffer so-called phantom pain on a... The armor's even more ridiculous. No matter how hard the shell, but the pilot inside is still completely fragile. Asking you to give up cultivation for a pile of scrap metal is nothing short of hilarious. Are you done? You cut him off with absolutely zero patience. Your eyes are cold enough to freeze. I have zero interest in any scrap metal. I want exactly 3 things. Hawkseed, Shenling, Dazi. The last 2, the older, the better. That's my only goal. These are the things you need. The Green Branch Zone herbs can cover most substitutes, but Shenling and Dazi? There is absolutely no replacement. The suited man freezes. He thinks, but those 2 herbs in this entire station outside of the mysterious first level, you won't find them anywhere. Then get me to the first level. Your tone leaves no room for negotiation. Impossible. The man smiles bitterly. Even the highest-ranked people in our separation society only operate on the 2nd level. The first level is completely out of reach. But his expression shifts. A cunning glint crosses his eyes. That said, if you really want to find them, there is one other place, Earth. How do I get there? Direct, straight to it. A cargo hauler ship. Go down to the surface and collect resources. He throws out the bait instantly. Join us, and I'll get you a spot on a surface run. But the surface is crawling with Kuma sentinels. Even laser weapons can't pierce their shell. So before you go, you need mechanical modification. Otherwise, you're just walking into your own death. Modification again. A surge of irritation rises in you. I'll say it one last time. Stop trying to obstruct me with scrap metal. You casually reach for a thick iron pipe from the nearby workbench. No speech, no drama. Your inner spiritual power erupts. Brutal force floods both arms without holding back. Screech, creak, a bone-grinding sound of metal twisting tears through the hall. Right in front of the suited man's horrified stare, you wrench that thick iron pipe into a twisted coil with your bare hands. Then clang, you drop it at his feet. That's what actual power looks like. You brush the rust off your hands and tower over him, the pressure radiating from your body forcing him back again and again. Now, go arrange a hauler for me. No more talk about that annoying surgery. Understood? The suited man inhales sharply, voice shaking. Is that a superpower? Fine. No modification, no modification. 1 month. Within 1 month, I'll have a hauler ready for you. Deal? Deal. You drop 4 cold words. 1 month passes in a blink. During that month, you shut out every distraction. No matter how attentive Yang Si was, you blocked her without hesitation. Every bit of focus went into relentless, extreme cultivation, and with the final breath of spiritual ki absorbed, your eyes snap open. Energy flows surge around you, shaking every object in the room. Finally, just as planned, you arrive at the Celestial Dome Space Station's docking bay. You sit steady in the cockpit of hauler number 006, Type C. The controls are surprisingly simple and direct. In under an hour, you've figured out every panel. The suited man stands at the hatch outside, face grave, handing you an earpiece. Put this on. Once you're on the surface, stay in contact at all times. He leans on the hatch frame and fires out briefing at machine gun speed. Remember, you have 2 tasks. Must complete both. First, the Separation Society's task. On the surface, draw a geometric formation with the pattern we gave you and revive a specific person using the revival art. Second, a massive, brain-shaped translucent monster. That's the Kuma core. At night, those impossible Kuma sentinels hide inside it and sleep. Run the moment you see it. Good luck. Bang. The hatch seals shut. You sit in the pilot's seat, no fear at all in your eyes, just a burning hunger for more power. You yank the throttle hard. Earth, here I come. Countdown. 10, 9, 8. Launch. 6,140 first year. April 3rd, 5 hours, 21 minutes, 0 seconds. Axis alignment, detachment, acceleration complete. One by one, commands fall into place, fighting the downward drag as the Earth pulls you in. You don't even blink, eyes locked on the trajectory to the designated landing point. That's all that matters right now. In less than 5 minutes, the surface comes into view. In the distance, over the city ruins, black towers pierce the sky. You glance once, and revulsion wells up instantly. Still feeling it, aren't you? The suited man's voice sounds through the earpiece, timed perfectly. Looking at them for even a moment makes your whole body crawl. They're built completely against human instincts, all twisted, asymmetric designs. That's deliberate. It's spiritual corruption. You clench your jaw. No sooner said than the hauler slams onto the surface. Hatch opens. Dense, undiluted spiritual chi wraps around you instantly. Every pore on your body opens at once. 1 day breathing, this is worth 10+ days of hard cultivation back on the station. No time to soak it in. Kuma sentinels are fully active after dark. You calculate, at most 14 hours before sundown. Just enough to finish the collection and mining tasks. Every minute counts. You sweep the area, all clear. You drill berries steadily into the ground. Clean, efficient movements, not a wasted motion. The probe needs 30 minutes to find the deposit. Don't wander too far, he adds as a reminder. Otherwise, the underground people might spot an unmanned machine and come wreck it. Underground people? Your brow furrows. Never heard that term before. People who escaped from the tower. He explains in a few words. Their minds got twisted. They actually enjoy pain. He adds, and watch out for the red mushrooms. A normal person eats one and might self-destruct on the spot from the horror. These underground people eat them and flood their brain with dopamine. The worse the pain, the better it feels. You blink slowly, processing. So the tower is basically heaven for them? Basically. That's why the tower only holds people like us. You don't push further. You lift your feet and head deep into the forest, searching for aged shenling and deep purple dazi, the two main ingredients for the chi-building pill. Rare finds, extremely valuable. You walked a long way, picked up plenty of spirit herbs and spirit kai plants along the way. Nothing like the two core ingredients, but enough to refine some pills to trade for credits. Not a wasted trip. Then the sky shifted. It's 5 o'clock. Start heading back. Any later and the Kuma Sentinels will be out. The suited man's warning cuts sharply into your earpiece. At chi refinement stage, you're in no position to take risks. You spin around and break into a full sprint toward the hauler. But just as you approach the landing zone, a sticky, deeply unsettling vibration crawls into your ears through the wind. Your whole body goes taut. You flip the earpiece to audio pickup mode immediately. A few seconds later, the suited man's voice drops to a level you've never heard before, heavy with dread. Don't go forward. That sound, that's the Kyuma core. Your mind buzzes with alarm. My hauler is right in front of me. If I can't go forward, how do I get back to the station? Move a mass 4 times the height of a person, identical to the shape of a human brain, translucent and pulsing, right there. And your hauler? Completely wrapped inside it. The hull is crawling with Kuma sentinels, wall to wall. You feel your scalp go cold just looking at it. You see it? I see it. You stare at that writhing mass. It has my hauler completely swallowed. What do I do? I'll be honest, your luck is terrible today, the suited man says with a bitter laugh. This thing appears in random spots. Wrapping the hauler like that? The odds are almost impossible. Someone's had it happen before, though. And? He's straight about it. The hauler has autopilot. It can fly back on its own. Worst case, the driver guides from the outside. You can always revive if needed, but you'd burn a lot of credits. Fail the task and you'd get penalized too. Total loss. He pauses, then adds, but if you could hold on until morning, the Kuma core dissolves on its own. You wouldn't lose anything you collected, and you'd actually come out ahead. You stare at that pulsing, muffled, sound-generating mass. Your back teeth are nearly grinding through each other. How am I supposed to make it to morning? Hold on, let me ask around for options. The earpiece goes silent. You stand alone in the forest, staring at the Kuma core, watching time slide toward nightfall, 1 second at a time. A quarter hour later, his voice is back. 2 options. Possible survival. Listen. Option 1. Escape to the old city ruins nearby. That's the Guardian's territory. Kuma sentinels won't set foot there. Your eye twitches. You reject it instantly, without thinking. The Guardians have high-tech weapons that could finish me in seconds. Walking in there is the same as surrendering my life. Then your luck's run out, you're out. He puts it bluntly. If you won't take option 1, there's option 2. Go underground. Underground is the underground people's territory. Sentinels don't go in there either. He immediately adds, but don't say I didn't warn you. The underground people won't attack you on sight, but they're very strange. We've had almost no contact with them. You go in alone, you're on your own. You glance at the sky. 6 o'clock sharp. 1 hour until dark. No time to hesitate. Option 2. Decision made. Not a second of wasted breath. How do I get underground? He asks back. You immediately get it, and your eyes snap wide. Use the probe. He shoots back, fully alert. The probe you deployed, is it still out there? Yes. Then what are you waiting for? His voice fires up. Pull the probe's power to maximum and drill straight down. Punch a hole through to underground. You spin around and sprint hard toward the probe location. You slam the power lever to its absolute limit. The next second, a deafening roar erupts from the drill head. With the force of someone who has nothing left to... In the distance, the 4-person tall Kuma core is twitching wildly in the noise, its surface already splitting open with fine cracks. Hundreds of Kuma sentinels writhe in the gaps, ready to pour out at any moment. How's it going? Is it through yet? The suited man's voice in the earpiece carries a barely controlled edge. Dark in under half an hour. Be careful. Stop adding pressure. You snap back, watching the drill's progress. The vein in your temple throbs. The more you talk, the worse my focus gets. At that, your peripheral vision catches the Kuma core's cracks tearing wider. 1 sentinel already half out. Not even 15 minutes until dark. Less than a quarter hour left. The reminder blasts into your ear again. I know. Your brow furrows so tight it could crack. You stare at the drill's progress count and curse silently under your breath. You pour your emergency water supply straight down the drill shaft. A hiss, steam shoots up. The overheating alarm finally stops. You wait through another 10 agonizing minutes. The drill's roar cuts off. The hole's open. Get in. Hurry. Now. The suited man's voice bursts with joy, almost spilling through the earpiece. But you whip around, and your heart drops straight to the floor. The Kyuma core's opening has torn completely. A black wave of Kyuma sentinels is pouring out like a flood, already closing on the drill shaft. No time left. You make the call instantly. Spiritual power fills your body to the brim. No need for a cable or rope. You launch yourself and plunge into the hundreds of meters deep shaft. You actually jumped? The suited man's shout dissolves in the wind shredding past you. You dig your hands and feet into the shaft walls, slowing your fall. But above, those creatures are right behind you, moving like shadow life forms, clinging to the walls, clambering down, closer and closer. You can almost smell the heavy, thick air coming off them. You ignite the burning blood art instantly, release your grip, and drop like a meteor straight to the bottom. Crack. The sound of bone impact. You smash into the ground. Both legs take the full force. Intense pain, unable to move even a centimeter. But above, the screeching keeps coming down. You push through it, pull the herbs from your pack, and shove them all into your mouth without caring. Spiritual power and medicinal force tear through the damage. Sensation starts returning to your legs. 20 seconds. You force yourself to stand, every movement taking enormous effort. Just then, those creatures have already reached the edge of the shaft opening directly above you, one step away. But in the next second, they stop dead. Like an invisible wall is blocking them. No matter how they howl or thrash, not one dares to cross the shaft opening. You go completely limp and collapse to the ground, gasping in great heaves. You still there? You press the earpiece and call out to the suited man. Only static crackles back. You restart the signal. Call again. Nothing. Hundreds of meters underground. Signal is completely dead. No time right now. 2 priorities. Water, and a way back to the surface. All the water you carried went to cool the drill. No more replenishment, and you won't last. You flick on your torch and follow the man-made tunnel ahead. The fewer plants, the more traffic. More traffic means a better shot at water and a settlement. 2 full hours of walking. Then, ahead, footsteps. You go taut in an instant. Your hand moves to the defensive spiritual tool at your side as you ease forward. The torch sweeps across, and your whole body goes on high alert. A girl, pale skin, slight frame. But the face? Strange, deeply strange. Dozens of thin iron nails embedded in the skin. Iron hooks hanging from her eyelids, polished to a shine. Just looking at her makes your eyes ache. This must be what the suited man called underground people, the ones who treat pain as pleasure. You steel yourself and force a smile, keeping your voice low. Can you understand me? The girl flinches hard. It's a long, dazed pause. Then, sluggishly, you came from the surface? Yes. You keep a safe distance, straight to the point. Do you know how to get back to the surface? She stands still, eyes unfocused, swaying slightly like she's had too much to drink. She turns and walks ahead. Barely any words. Ask her a question. Get a one-word answer back. The rest of the time she's half asleep, barely staying upright. Before long, the quiet sound of flowing water reaches you. An underground river. The moment it comes into view, the girl tilts her bucket and fills up a huge amount, then tips her head back and pours the whole thing down her throat in one go. You frown. You haven't had water in days? No. She shakes her head, completely matter-of-fact. I'm worried I might get thirsty later, so I'm drinking ahead of time. Isn't that pretty extreme, you ask? And I guess to avoid going hungry, you also eat all your food in advance? A bolt of lightning hits your brain. Their entire world is completely inverted. You carefully test the ground. So, you constantly fight off the urge to sleep? Staying awake is exciting. Sleeping feels terrible. She points to her own eyes. I've been fighting it for 2 days now. You understand immediately. That drowsy, barely upright look of hers? She's been pushing through 2 full days and nights without sleep, already at the very edge of her limit. You say nothing more. You fill your canteen with a small amount of water, take a sip. Clean, sweet water. The relief is instant. The girl watches you, full of something that looks like envy. Is drinking water nice? You nod. Can you take me to the surface now? She suddenly blinks, like she just remembered. Oh, right. I was supposed to do that, wasn't I? Sorry, I mixed it up. You look at her stumbling, barely standing upright, and swallow the frustration. Not even started yet, and she's already swaying sideways, walking straight into the wall. The bucket crashes to the ground. Water spills everywhere. I really can't hold on anymore, she looks at you, voice full of pleading. Let me sleep a little first. I'll take you to the surface the moment I wake up. Before you can even agree, she ignores you completely, turns, and walks deeper into the tunnel. You stand there, eyeing her back, then the pitch-black branching tunnels behind you. One direction, an unknown underground village. The other direction, a dead-end tunnel leading nowhere but back to the drill shaft. You have no real choice. You grit your teeth and follow her into the stone room. Inside, she collapses face first onto the bed and is sound asleep in seconds. You have no other option. You settle down nearby, cross your legs, and circulate your spiritual power, healing your body and consolidating your cultivation level. All you can do is wait for her to wake up and take you to the surface. At some point, a knock echoes at the door. Completely different from the twisted people you've seen underground. He scans you up and down and smiles, introducing himself. I'm Zhuge Fu. Consider me this village's sort of a researcher. Researcher. Your brow goes up immediately, full alert. Research into the treat pain as pleasure behavior of underground people? He leans closer, voice turning mysterious. Want to see my research results? No thanks. You refuse directly. No detour, no softening. My only goal is to get back to the surface as soon as possible. Nothing else interests me. Zhuge Fu glances at the deeply sleeping girl on the bed, a faint, knowing smile on his lips. Wanting the surface, but not leaving, because you don't know the way and you're waiting for her to wake up and guide you? I'd advise against waiting. Why? This girl, her name is Jing Ling. She loves pushing herself to the absolute limit. She'll stay awake for days on end, but once she crashes, she sleeps for a full day and night, maybe longer. Then I'll wait. No reaction, no worry. He shifts quick. Something cold drops in your chest. You stare at him. Irreversible, even after revival? Even then. Zhuge Fu nods. Then he turns it around. You're not thinking. If you catch the curse, at least you won't be afraid of the tower anymore, right? I wasn't. You shake your head flatly. Unless the curse can be undone, don't even mention it as an option. His eyes light up immediately, and he starts to lay it out clearly. With the curse, eating, drinking, sleeping, all the things that should feel normal become pure torment. The more you eat, the hungrier you feel. The more you drink, the thirstier. The pain just gets worse. To avoid suffering, we have to eat and drink in advance, stay awake, and push sleep away. And unlike them, I don't chase the extreme, he says, voice growing heavy. Do you know why? Why? Because going too far will eventually end your life. His tone turns grave. For us, losing life signs feels 1,000 times better than eating a meal. You process that instantly. It becomes an addiction. Eventually it gets addicted to self-destruction. They revive and immediately do it again. This underground world has so many villages. Reproduction is allowed. The population should grow. But it keeps shrinking. That's the reason why. He sighs, a heaviness in his voice. With the revival art, we underground people are marching toward our own end. He looks at you again. So, still just killing time here? Come, look my research. Whatever you decide after, I'll personally escort you to the surface at 3 in the morning. You think it through. It's currently about 2 in the afternoon. Getting to the surface takes 4 or 5 hours, which puts you right at dark, walking high-end equipment, precision instruments, a pile of things you couldn't even name. Completely unlike the run-down underground village outside. 2 completely different worlds. Not bad, right? He's genuinely proud. Everyone in this village, and even nearby villages, pitched in. My research is for all of them, to break the curse and save everyone's life. You sweep the room. Where do you even get power down here? Underground river, hydroelectric, 500-meter drop, more than enough for this lab. He doesn't elaborate further. He moves to a machine that looks like a resonance device, starts adjusting it. I've been at this for over 100 years, he said, but this infrasonic amplifier, it helped me trace the curse back to its source. You traced the source? You're slightly taken aback. He doesn't answer, just suddenly tilts his head and smiles at you. His eyes are full of wild excitement. Before you can react, he presses the machine's switch. A strange, indescribable low whisper tears into your mind instantly. Utterly unbearable. Your head feels like it took a heavy hammer. Energy surges. Your eyes go red. Fury barely pressed down. You actually just ran an experiment on me. In the next second, spiritual power explodes out of you. You vanish from where you're standing. A violent crash. Zhuge Fu flies backward like a snapped kite. It spatters completely. The lab is wrecked. He holds his chest on the ground, clearly in pain, but his eyes are burning with excitement as he stares at you. You're a modified human? No, I scanned you. No modification traces. How do you have that kind of speed, that kind of strength? You step toward him slowly, eyes cold as ice. And you're not afraid I'll just end you on the spot? Ha! He nods calmly, wiping the corner of his mouth. Just now. That was on me. You did the right thing. He smiles. It's just a shame about the equipment. That'll take a long time to fix. You brought it on yourself. Just then, footsteps outside. You don't hold a grudge. Just pin him with a direct question. How long does it take for a surface person to catch the curse? 2 to 3 days, he says sincerely. But you just heard the curse's sound. That timeline might move up. Move up to when? Hard to say. Depends on each person's constitution. No more words wasted. You sit cross-legged right there, focus inward. Instant internal vision, methodically checking every part of your body for anything unusual. Zhuge Fu watches, keeping carefully to the side. Not a word, not even a breath too loud. The internal scan only takes a few minutes, and then you snap your eyes open. Cold sweat all over. I don't have much time. You stare at Zhuge Fu, edge cutting through your voice. Thanks to your little experiment, I have 10 hours at most before the curse fully takes root. I need to get back to the surface right now. Zhuge Fu blinks, then glances at his watch. 4 in the afternoon. He quickly steadies himself. If you leave now, you won't reach the surface until 9 or 10 at night. That puts you right in the middle of active Sentinel territory. But compared to catching the curse, getting finished by Sentinels at least means a revival. It's not a dead end. He stands up immediately. If you try anything like that again, I won't just wreck your lab. I'll make sure your entire village catches what you're trying to cure. Zhuge Fu's face stiffens instantly. He puts on a cooperative smile. Don't worry. I swear I'll get you to the surface safe and sound. If we run into Sentinels, I'll be the one drawing them away for you. That won't be needed. You're already moving, pulling him toward the exit at a pace that generates wind. I don't need an ordinary person as a human shield. Just keep me pointed in the right direction. Ordinary person. Zhuge Fu latches onto that phrase, eyes going wide. You wouldn't. You aren't actually a cultivator, are you? You give no answer. Your pace only quickens. Slow down. Zhuge Fu huffs and puffs, struggling to keep up, but not daring to fall behind. Meanwhile, deep in the village's stone room, Jingling was pressed against the window, watching you leave. The moment you were far enough, she crouched down and quietly slipped out the door, sneaking along behind you. On the road toward the surface, you suddenly speak up. By the way, you caught the curse, didn't you? Just now when I hit you, why'd you make a sound? Zhuge Fu grins. I let you vent. You can't just hit me. You have absolutely nothing to say to that. You used to be on the space station. You're clearly smart. How did someone like you end up catching the curse and getting stuck underground? Zhuge Fu's expression turns immediately serious. What if I said I came down here on purpose, looking for a way out? You spin your head around, eyes wide with genuine surprise. Then he grins again, a nostalgic wave of the hand. To be honest, I was young and reckless. I wanted to find the truth. I thought I could use the curse as a weapon against the tower, then break it once humanity was saved. Turns out the curse is 100 times more complicated than I imagined. And before I knew it, over 100 years, he lets out a long sigh, face full of regret. If I could do it over, I'd never come underground. Not another word for a while. Then after another half hour of walking, you whip around suddenly, voice sharp and low. Come out, before I move first. Don't, it's me. Flashlight snaps on. Jingling's iron-nailed face appears in the darkness. giving you both a sheepish grin. Zhuge Fu frowns hard. Jingling, why did you follow? The surface is full of Kuma sentinels. You trying to get yourself lost for good? I promised him. Once I woke up, I'd take him to the surface. I can't break my word. Fine. You cut off Zhuge Fu before he starts. Bring her along. All I need from both of you is directions. You don't need to go above ground. No real danger for you. Zhuge Fu hesitates for a moment, then turns to Jingling with a firm look. You can tag along, but don't run off without my permission. Got it? Got it. Jingling nods quickly and obediently. You glance at the two of them. Is she a new life? You ask casually. Zhuge Fu smiles. Born underground, only been through one body reconstruction. Barely over 30 years old. Around here, she's practically a kid. All three continue forward, getting closer to the surface. Yeah, I hear you. You answer completely unfazed. I figured. No signal underground. I managed everyone else's relocations. Chao Jing exhales in clear relief. I held off on triggering the hauler's auto-return. The ship's still sitting there waiting for you. Head straight to it once you're up. I can't wait until morning. Your tone goes serious. The underground situation is affecting me. 5 hours max. I need to be back on the surface. Otherwise, it's over. What kind of situation? Chao Jing's voice immediately sharpens with alarm. Long story. I'll explain when I'm back. You don't waste words. Straight to the point. What I need right now is to avoid the Kuma core and make it back to the hauler. Hold on. Let me find some help. Don't rush up yet. The earpiece goes quiet again. Seems like he ran off to make arrangements. Zhuge Fu listened to all of it nearby. Couldn't help but comment. Space station crews are really this loyal now? You went missing that long and they still didn't just call the hauler back? Back when I was a pilot, if you went dark for over 8 hours, they'd write you off as a loss. The person I'm in contact with isn't... I'm not a standard hauler driver either. I came to the surface through my own connections. Not bad for a rookie, already pulling strings like that. He shifts the subject. Back in the lab, I heard that low-frequency sound you picked up. What exactly was it? Infrasound, Zhuge Fu explains right away. Normal human ears can't detect it. My machine converts it to audible frequency. That's why you heard it. I'm now completely certain that invisible, ever-present infrasound is the root cause of all the changes underground. You feel a tinge of resignation. So all this chaos in your lab was just to verify that one thing? Research has to be empirical. Can't move forward on an unverified hypothesis. He says it like it's obvious. You pause. That sound was transmitting specific patterns. What do they mean? No idea. He raises both hands. It's naturally occurring vibration. No specific meaning. You nod and drop it. Talking and walking. The three of you have now reached the surface exit. Just then, Chao Jing's voice crackles back into the earpiece. Hey, can you hear me? I got satellite monitoring on. I can lock your position exactly and tell you which direction the hauler is. As for getting past the sentinels, that's all on you. Good luck. Understood. You give a clean reply. When can I move? Anytime. But before you go, light a fire. I need to lock your position. At that moment, Zhuge Fu speaks up. Chen Fan, before you go, could you pass a message through that earpiece to whoever's on the other end? Go ahead. Tell them I've been researching underground topics for years and I've hit a wall. I'm hoping they can support me with some lab equipment. In return, I'll share all my research findings with them. You immediately relay the message to Chao Jing with a quick explanation of the situation. A few seconds of silence on the earpiece. Then Chao Jing, and I want long-term communication access, a connection device, access to the station's database. That would speed up my research significantly. A communication device is fine. You can keep it, Chao Jing's voice returns. But the backup one's on the hauler. You'll have to get to it somehow. And you're not going to just walk through a wall of sentinels to get there. This prompts a small, bitter smile from Zhuge Fu. For a normal person, slipping past sentinels to reach the hauler? That's basically impossible. You weigh the situation for a moment, then slowly speak. I have a method. I can use a secret art to temporarily unlock the potential in your body, give you a burst of speed and strength far beyond, until you can no longer hold on, you add clearly. Even then, do you still want it? Why wouldn't I? He answers without blinking. The excitement in his eyes is almost overflowing. Just experiencing this secret art is already worth it, let alone getting the equipment on top of that. He steps forward, barely contained. When do we go? What do I need to do? You glance over at Jingling, then back to Zhuge Fu. You're not sending her back first? Zhuge Fu quickly leans in, almost eagerly. Actually, can she come? One more person increases the odds, adds backup. He turns to Jingling, eyes full of pleading. Jingling's eye, the hole above. Zhuge Fu stares at that faint trickle of light from the opening, brow knotted so tight it almost hurts. To get visible on satellite with that tiny amount of wood and dry grass, not nearly enough. We'd need to go up to the surface to find more fuel. You go, or me and Jingling go? None of you need to go to the surface for fuel. You don't even look up. Going up like that would just pull the Kyoma sentinels right over here. The moment you finish speaking, you raise your hand and a fist-sized fireball erupts in your palm. Zhuge Fu's eyes go completely round. He stops breathing, mouth dropping open. A second later, you swing your arm. The fireball launches with a heavy thud and slams into a large tree not far away. The entire tree erupts in roaring flames. You see the fire? Chao Jing confirms in the earpiece. I see it. It's 10:30 p.m. right now, with the watch's minute hand pointing toward the moon and the hour hand pointing in the same direction. That's southeast. Start from the burning tree, run southeast. That'll take you straight to the hauler. Zhuge Fu goes tense. Running through a forest in a straight line is nearly impossible. There'll be deviation. What then? Chao Jing's voice is completely steady. Then light another fire as a signal. I can keep giving you corrections. Whether you make it or not, that's up to you. Zhuge Fu presses his lips together. He turns to you. So we go now? Go. One word. Your fingertips surge with sharp energy and instantly channel it into Zhuge Fu's body. Zhuge Fu shudders. A low growl escapes him. He takes one step forward and launches himself several meters in an instant. His eyes go wide with wonder. I want to... You cut in cold and fast. Don't waste it. This secret art burns your own life force. The faster your energy drops. Got it. Got it. Sorry, I just got excited. He reins it in. You then turn and add the same energy boost to Jingling. You drop one last line. Keep up. Can't keep up. Say so. Then you turn and burst out of the underground tunnel. The two of them sprint right behind you, running hard. 30 seconds in, a strange vibration ripples out from the darkness. The Kyoma core, shifting and rumbling. You shout a sharp warning. That thing is moving. That thing is moving. Everyone watch out. The words barely land. Dozens of Kyoma sentinels explode out of the darkness. Terrifyingly fast. In seconds, they're right on your heels. Zhuge Fu goes rigid with fear, shouting, Chen Fan! You spin on your heel instantly. Fireballs are already leaving your hands, some hitting sentinels directly. Derusting's voice kicks in through the earpiece, calling out your direction. Copy. You respond and immediately bank toward the corrected angle, still sprinting. The sentinels behind you won't break away. You hurl fireball after fireball. Your inner spiritual power is nearly depleted. Can't keep going. You don't stop running. You call back to Zhuge Fu over your shoulder. I need you to hold these sentinels back. I'll get Jingling out. Zhuge Fu goes blank, doesn't process it fast enough. Your voice carries the pressure of someone not asking. The equipment. Let Jingling carry it back. You stay here and be the rear guard. Move. No time to think. Zhuge Fu answers, spins around and charges full force at the incoming Kyoma sentinels. A moment of crashing sound. Then, silence. A few seconds later, everything goes still behind you. Jingling watches it unfold, fate showing nothing in particular, and keeps sprinting hard on your heels. A little over a minute more of running, and ahead, a light flickers in the distance. You lower your voice. Found the hauler. In the earpiece, Chao Jing lets out an audible exhale of relief. Thank goodness. What about Zhuge Fu, the one who was with you? Gone. Gone. A pause. The equipment? Ask him if he's willing. You turn to Jingling running beside you and relay the question in a few sentences. Jingling chews on it, looking conflicted. Mid-conversation, you've already reached the hauler. Dozens of sentinels surge at you from behind. A few more fireballs. You push them back. You and Jingling bolt into the cockpit. Made up your mind? Jingling stares at everything in the cockpit with wide eyes, then grabs the edge of your sleeve. Can I come with you? You give a single nod in response. You grab the glowing orb and the spare communication device, toss both out of the cockpit, then pull the control lever. The hauler begins to lift off. Fair enough. You glance at Jingling curled up beside you. By the way, what do we do with Jingling? Keeping him on the station long-term isn't going to work. No identity registered here. You pause, running the options. After the research is done, they can either send him back to the surface on a tug, or he can reset his own body and head back underground. Up to him. Your eyes light up. That actually gives me an idea. Why not revive Zhuge Fu and bring him to the station? He could share research findings, use the station's database. Both sides benefit. You're rocket. You settle back in the seat and wait for the tug to sync up with the station. Half an hour. Midnight. Docking complete. Pilot may exit. You walk out of the hauler with Jingling. Chao Jing is already waiting at the service bay. He spots you and immediately gives your shoulder a firm pat. Welcome back. 2 nights on the surface, came back in one piece, and brought all the resources. You've got the real skills. Then he looks past you to Jingling. He pauses. You must be the underground person. Welcome. Jingling says nothing, just shrinks back behind you. Chao Jing is a little taken off guard. He quickly shifts his attention to your pack. The plants in your bag, are those medicinal herbs? You collected those on the surface? Yes, you say simply. It's all in my files. I've had experience with herb cultivation before. Went to the surface. Might as well scout things out while I was there. Exchange for credits. Chao Jing narrows his eyes at your pack, clearly reading between the lines. Then he speaks. The ore you collected this time, outside of what you have to hand in, I'll convert the rest into credits for your personal terminal. Our society will take a cut, of course. That works for you? No problem, you nod. Can't let you all work for nothing. He pauses, then, oh, one more thing I just remembered. You asked about someone earlier. Shenling and Dazi. I couldn't track those down. But I did hear someone might have ginseng aged over 200 years. Ginseng. 2 words. Your eyes snap into focus. In the cultivation world, ginseng of sufficient age is prime-grade material. The chi-building pill you're trying to refine needs Shenling and Dazi, both over 100 years old. But with 200-year ginseng in the mix, the age requirement for everything else drops to just 20 or 30 years. In the service bay, you face Chao Jing directly. What's the deal with this ginseng trade? Chao Jing spreads his hands. The owner doesn't really want to. That's 30,000 credits a month. Even without spending a single credit, it'd take over 12 years to save that amount. Chao Jing spots the shadow crossing your face and quickly adds, Don't look so gloomy. Our society can help with this. Your eyes snap up. How? We're willing to put up those 4.4 million. I can see you have potential. Chao Jing's tone is serious. But you'd need to earn the trust of at least half our society members. That's the only way this gets approved. And how do I earn that trust? Just showing ability isn't enough, Chao Jing says plainly. What you can do, enhanced people on the station can probably do too. Don't rush. The station and our internal channels put out high-difficulty tasks regularly. That's your chance to prove yourself. You agree, and your mind is already running 2 tracks at once. 1. Take on tasks, earn credits, win the society's trust. 2. Refine pills using the herbs you collected on the surface and sell them for more credits. Then you pivot completely. About the station's 3D printing room, do you know someone there? I have a roommate in there, but upper management is strict about printing. Specialized parts and equipment can't make it through approval. I'm not printing any of that, just a container, heat-resistant, about half a meter tall. The station bans open flame, he says. I'll get you an electric heating container instead. That's not going to work for me, you hold your ground. Station conditions won't cut it. I'll use it on the surface. You put it plainly. Just build it. I'll take it down to the surface and use it there. Chao Jing nods. You've made your position clear. You add one more thing. Also, help me find someone. A friend I met in the tower. His name is Li Ju. Genuinely brilliant. The only reason I made it from the tower to the station at all was because of him. He should be somewhere on the 2nd level. Chao Jing's eyes instantly light up. That impressive? All right, I'll try. The next stretch of days falls into a steady rhythm. Daytime, you handle your zone duties. After work, you explore different parts of the station. Time passes quietly. About 10 days go by. Then Chao Jing shows up again. You meet in the main hall of the Green Branch Zone, straight to business. Zhuge Fu got in touch through the communicator last night. He's already sharing some research data with us, and I've got news about a task. Your eyes sharpen immediately. A task that's right for me? I think so. He lowers his voice. Have you heard of the Europa space station? There's another space station? You're genuinely surprised. Of course. Chao Jing raises an eyebrow. Haven't you ever noticed? Everyone here is from China. Not a single different face in the whole station. You follow the thread. So the others are all in Europa? Not all there, but some. There are actually 3 space stations for humanity right now. Chao Jing gives you the quick rundown. The biggest is ours, Celestial Dome. Then there's the old International Space Station, now renamed Heaven. And finally, Europa. That one's all foreigners. You don't get sidetracked by the minor details. So this task, it's related to Europa? It is. Chao Jing scans the area. Nobody nearby. He drops his voice lower. Something went wrong on Europa Station last month. Your brow lifts. You wait for him to continue. Normally, a death that ends in revival isn't a big deal. Both our station and Heaven would send ships for backup assistance. Chao Jing's tone shifts sharply. But this time, basically everyone we sent over got taken out. And after revival, none of them could clearly explain what happened to them. Chao Jing nods. Upper management has already sent several elite people. Barely any word back from any of them. That's what made us think of you. Your expression darkens, a clear warning in your eyes. Chao Jing immediately tries to smooth it over. This time around, whatever you find, every bit of credit goes to you. Even if things go bad, our society covers you. We'll revive you the moment anything happens. You're still holding back, considering. Chao Jing drops the final card on the table. That ginseng I mentioned earlier, I'll personally make sure it's reserved for you. No matter what happens with the task, the ginseng is yours. The moment those words land, you make up your mind. A secured outcome, whether or not the mission succeeds. This task is worth taking. I'm in. When do we leave? The sooner the better. Chao Jing clearly had everything prepared in advance. He's already walking you toward the service bay. I've set up a small reconnaissance ship for you. You've operated a cargo hauler before. This one's going to be no problem. Anything you don't understand, ask me. I'll stay in contact with you the whole way. A stretch of waiting passes. The ship breaks away from the docking bay and moves steadily in the direction of Europa Space Station. 2 hours later, your ship is hovering close to Europa. Hovering because docking is simply not possible. The station's entire system has gone completely dark. No docking connection, no interior lighting, no life support equipment, nothing. Just a pitch-black shell, deep and still, like a long labyrinth waiting for someone to walk into it. You're already suiting up with your pressurized gear, one hand on your earpiece. This station doesn't look small. How does a whole system just go dark like this? The information upper management released is Chao Jing quickly explains. We operate cautiously, build tech, grow strength, then act when ready. Heaven is aggressive. Some there are even talking about building a superweapon to blow up the Earth and take the tower down with it. You hear that and raise an eyebrow. That's not leaving any backup plan at all. Tell that to them. Surprisingly, there's a lot of support. Mostly people who've been in the tower for extremely long periods. He snaps back to the point. Europa is neither aggressive nor conservative. They've been running a mechanical ascension program. They want to upload everyone's consciousness to a server, maintained by solar power, and achieve genuine immortality. They went all in on biological and mechanical technology, built a whole cluster of biolabs. What went wrong this time came from those labs. Correct, Chao Jing confirms. I'm guessing the upper management's been sending people there specifically to get their hands on the technology. I pushed for you to go so our society could get there first. His voice settles. We sent one of our own people earlier. They went in and failed quickly. Right now, you're all we've got. Before he finishes, you've fully suited up. You step carefully onto Europa's docking platform. The entrance is a narrow, long passage. Inside, completely dark, darker than dark. A few lifeless bodies are lying right across the floor. Your body goes immediately taut. You freeze. Situation. You say it flat and quiet into the earpiece. Calm down, those are phagocytes. Chao Jing's voice comes right back. In space, remains exposed to a vacuum basically always develop them. Ignore them completely. You press down the unease and keep moving deeper into the black. About 100 steps in, a shout breaks out from the darkness ahead, mixed with a foreign language. You spin and kill the flashlight on your head. Switch the earpiece to audio pickup mode. A few seconds later, Chao Jing translates live. Your brow pulls tight immediately. He's lying. I was walking softly. He couldn't have heard me. Then don't rush in. Get a little closer. Flash your light once. Just get a look. You ease toward the source of the voice, one careful step at a time. And then, in the moment you get close, a terrifying force crashes through your mind like an explosion. You stagger, drop to one knee, head ringing. What happened? What did you hit? Chao Jing's voice goes sharp with worry. You pull yourself upright, expression grim. A mental-level attack hit me, something of that nature. That kind of technology is completely unheard of, Chao Jing fires back without pause. The science community hasn't even confirmed whether souls exist, let alone built something that targets the mind. Interesting. You call out into the dark ahead using the other person's language. Fellow traveler, if we walk the same path, why hide? The other party hears your accent. Switches immediately to Chinese. You're from China? You cut straight to it. If I'm reading this right, you're a cultivator? A cultivator? The voice pauses. Then curiosity floods in, barely contained. You're not actually one of those Chinese novel immortals who cultivates to godhood, are you? You say nothing. Stand your ground. I won't pretend you had something to do with everyone who came to Europa to help. I only took out a few, the voice replies calmly. You can see the situation on the floor. Most of the ones who failed went deeper and hit problems in the inner area. And why did you act against me? Honestly, you're a normal body. Your brow rises. If you want out so badly, why not just reset yourself? You can be revived, right? The voice lets out a quiet, bitter sound. Revival only works on humans. And I'm not one. If I cease to exist, there's truly nothing left. You stare at the screen in front of you. But you're clearly human thought in a physical form. How are you not considered human? What if, from the very day I came into existence, I only ever had this core? The voice turns the question back. I have no complete body, no name, no past. I've never once experienced what it means to be a real person. Would the revival art even recognize something like me? The voice is calm and level. Second, the moment I saw you, I analyzed your behavior patterns and personality. Giving you everything was the strategy with the highest survival probability for me. In plain terms, he adds at the end, you're someone who responds well to honesty and poorly to force. You raise an eyebrow slightly. That's actually interesting. The core continues. Every cooperation happens because of mutual need. Just making a good impression isn't enough. Let me give you a quick summary of what I bring to the table. I was a byproduct created during the development of Europa's most advanced technology. I'm essentially a supercentral intelligence. Any problem you have, I can calculate the optimal solution in the shortest possible time. Taking me with you is the same as bringing an entire team of the sharpest minds you could find. You don't commit. Carefully. How do I know you won't give me solutions that secretly work against me? Simple. The core answers cleanly. Find me a body. Make me a real person. Once I join your side and we have a shared foundation, we'll have a natural reason to trust each other. That logic actually makes complete sense. You decide directly. No hesitation. Fine. I'll bring you along, and I'll find you a human body. Following the core's guidance, you detach the entire glass vessel cleanly in a few moves. You hold it firmly in your arms. Chao Jing immediately speaks in the earpiece. Head back now. With that thing in hand, our trip here is already more than worth it. Not yet. You ignore his suggestion. You look down at the core in your arms. Do you know the layout of Europa Station well? Can we keep going forward? We can, but without hesitation, the core replies. Based on my projection, going forward gives us... So, my suggestion is, if you really want to explore further, put me back on the ship first. Then you go alone. 6% failure rate. You scan the lab, pick up a scrap iron plate from the corner. Right in front of the core, you channel your spiritual force. The iron plate, hard enough to resist anything, bends under your raw strength alone, folded with your hands until it's crushed into a dense, solid lump. The core, whose voice had been steady the whole time, gives away something it can't contain. Shock. You're actually a cultivator, or do you have some kind of superpower? You give a mysterious half-smile. No direct answer. What's our failure rate now? The core instantly cools, runs a fresh calculation, and speaks, factoring in your abilities, somewhere between 1% and 2%. A margin that low, even I'd take those odds, you say. And of course, he adds, if you want it to be essentially zero, you need to follow my guidance. There are places you absolutely cannot go. Deal, you nod. I operate exactly like that. Only go where the reward is clear. Where first? Straight to the jellyfish lab, the core says. I'm going to show you what real goodwill looks like and give you something worth having. Your eyebrow goes up. What gift? You'll see when we get there. Not another word. With the core leading, you sidestep several danger zones in quick succession. Before long, you're standing outside the so-called jellyfish lab. Water-filled. A luminous jellyfish drifts slowly through the water within. You're slightly surprised. I thought luminous jellyfish could phase through matter. How is it trapped here? The core explains. This is Europa Station's latest discovery. The jellyfish's phasing ability doesn't function in water. Enough water and it's completely contained. That's surprisingly straightforward to deal with. You immediately call Chao Jing through the earpiece. Did the Celestial Dome Station's upper management never find this out? They really didn't, Chao Jing responds. The upper management at Celestial Dome always favors cautious, steady development. They put most resources into conventional growth. Europa has always been the one pushing into the unknown. It makes complete sense that they were the ones to find this. You turn to look at the core in your arms. So, the gift you're talking about, it's not the jellyfish itself, right? Of course not, the core directs you. Find the charging port in the lab. I need to bring the backup power online first. You set the core carefully on a smooth metal surface. In the next second, every light in the lab blinks on. In the light, you look inside the massive glass cube. There, embedded in the base, a geometric formation identical to the Revival Art's design. This is an automated revival device designed specifically for humans. You understand immediately. What's this device for? The core cuts you off. Dedicated to the research on the luminous jellyfish. Let me demonstrate. It activates the device. An electronic synthesized voice reads out the identification of a foreign station member. Within seconds, a foreign man materializes in a water-filled glass cube. The newly revived man immediately panics, pounding on the glass walls, but it's useless. He's absorbed by the jellyfish in an instant. You watch from outside the cube, eyes twitching. Normally, the core continues, after absorption, and with that, it activates the device again, summoning another member. Same as the last. This person struggles in the water, helpless, and dissolves into the jellyfish's energy just the same, one after another. In a matter of minutes, the luminous jellyfish is visibly swelling, stretched to its limit. But the core shows no signs of stopping. It keeps summoning target after target. Finally, at its absolute limit, the jellyfish lets out one muffled, shuddering sound. Its entire body detonates in an instant. As the jellyfish explodes, the cloudy liquid floods the entire glass cube. You stare at the liquid inside. Exactly, the core responds immediately. The same way the body produces byproducts through metabolism. A jellyfish that absorbed that much energy naturally secretes a significant amount of its own unique substance. Before the words are even out, the lab wall suddenly extends a semi-transparent tube, piercing right into the glass cube, and draws out every drop of the liquid with precision, delivering it to a container in front of you. This is the gift I promised you. The core's voice carries real excitement now. Absorb this liquid. It carries the luminous jellyfish's special imprint. Once it works on your body, you'll develop a resonance with the jellyfish. You could even influence entire. Your body gets torn apart and rebuilt, over and over. The intensity far exceeds what the tower put you through. In the tower, if you die, you just revive and you reset. But in this process, without an iron will, you simply won't survive it. But you're different. He immediately adds, you withstood my mental strike and walked away completely fine. Your mental resistance is far beyond normal. Your physical durability is equally extraordinary. You can absolutely survive this process. Ability to influence an entire luminous jellyfish cluster that doubles your reach instantly. You're genuinely tempted, but you're naturally cautious. You immediately go quiet. No one's made it through, and you still had the nerve to suggest it? Don't get me wrong, the core explains quickly. It's not because the success rate is low. It's because the luminous jellyfish is incredibly rare. Every time the experiment runs, it costs enormous resources. No one's ever gotten all the way through. That's the only reason. Fine. Everything's been laid out. But you still hedge. Your fingertip moves and channels a thread of spiritual force into the glass vessel where the core rests. The core immediately reacts. What are you doing? Adding a bit of spiritual force. Nothing harmful. You can actually absorb it. The benefit is yours. Only difference. Your tone shifts. Pressure behind every word. Nothing left to discuss. If something happens to me, no one stays to regulate the spiritual force. And without that, you won't be able to survive. Understood. The core gets it immediately. Its voice goes a little resigned. You're saying you don't fully trust me yet. I don't, you answer directly. We just met. He stops arguing. You pick up the vial. When can the experiment start? Anytime. Just absorb it, and it begins. No more hesitation. You raise the vial, and not a moment of hesitation. You shut down all 5 senses in an instant. Every trace of pain sealed off completely. The core, watching you remain expressionless throughout, is visibly stunned. You use some special technique to block the pain? You glance over. A simple nod. He immediately overflows with excitement, words tumbling out. Perfect. This is perfect. You can't feel pain. That pushes the experiment success rate from 30% straight up to 40%. Your brow ticks up. Only 40%? You still pushed me to try something with those odds? I hold no fear of ceasing to exist, the core says, a thread of pure obsession beneath. Looking at that attitude, you're reminded of Zhuge Fu. Both of them, willing to sacrifice everything in pursuit of the truth. One of a kind in their own way. Time passes. Under the combined effect of the jellyfish's unique properties and your spiritual force, your body slowly starts to turn semi-transparent. Your eyes open immediately. Wait, I thought this was supposed to be about cellular absorption? Why is my body going translucent? I don't know. The core's excited voice shakes. You're different from everyone else. It must be your spiritual force reacting with the special liquid in some unexpected way. You drop into a cross-legged position instantly. Close your eyes, internal vision engaged. It becomes clear. The spiritual force inside is stimulating your body in a very unusual pattern. You were right, the core calls out. Your transparency is increasing by the second. Are you all right? You say nothing. You slowly stand up, extend your right arm, and press it steadily toward the solid wall of the lab. Then, right before the core's eyes, your arm passes straight through the wall. That's phasing. You actually developed phasing ability. The core's voice is full of raw shock. You pull your arm back. You feel the shift inside carefully. Phasing costs spiritual force to maintain. I can't hold it long, only useful at critical moments. That's already beyond incredible. The core snaps back to calm in an instant. A note of urgency. Remember, unless you absolutely have to, never let your whole body phase. On Earth, you'd fall straight into the planet's core. You bow your head slightly toward the core. Thanks for the warning. You pause. You pulled this off. I owe you one. Don't mention it. You turn and head deeper, still heading toward Europa's core area. Past this lab is the Ascension Zone. That's the core of the station. I don't know what's in there. Up to you whether we go. Your instincts and caution kick in, and you're about to turn back. But just then, Chao Jing's voice cuts into the earpiece. Chen Fan, still with me? Your brow furrows slightly. I'm here. Sorry, I just got some critical intel. Needed a moment to verify. Chao Jing's tone sharpens. I just confirmed what caused the anomaly on Europa. It's connected to the Ascension Zone. The core immediately chimes in beside you. The Ascension Zone, that's the core area. It's where they developed the highest-level consciousness transfer technology. Exactly, Chao Jing jumps in right away. Reportedly, Europa's mechanical ascension program is complete. Nearly half the population has already finished the transition. That's been the whole reason Celestial Dome and Heaven have kept sending people over. They all want this technology. His voice takes on an unmistakably hopeful edge. Chen Fan, with this technology, humanity won't need to depend on the revival art anymore. We wouldn't have to fear the tower. Before the phasing ability, I wouldn't have recommended going in, it replies without missing a beat. But now, with phasing to fall back on, if you hit something truly impossible, you phase through the outer shell, trigger the ship's autopilot, and it catches you. Theoretically, you have almost no blind spots anymore. That gives you exactly the confidence you need. Which direction is the core area? Out of this lab. 3 corridors down. Take the first fork. That's it. Then let's move. With that, you advance quietly in the direction the core indicated. In the narrow, dark corridor, your senses, far beyond ordinary human range, pick up the sound of equipment being dismantled. The dismantling stops. In its place, the hiss of pressurized gas releasing. The core keeps its voice low. If I'm reading this right, they're using a cold fracture method, dropping the metal's temperature to make it brittle enough to break through. That sound carries the words. A burst of cold air sweeps in from ahead, then the crack of metal fracturing. Someone calls out in a foreign language. Finally through. Another voice. 80, is the drone ready? Ready, boss. It's already in. Good. Make sure it doesn't touch anything in there. A shuffle of footsteps. The group moves directly into the ascension zone. The core goes wide-eyed, or whatever the equivalent is. You can tell that from listening? You smirk faintly. In planning and calculation, you have the edge on me. But in stealth and tracking, you're not even in the same league. With that, you slip soundlessly behind the group and slip into the ascension zone as well. In the center of the main hall, a massive pool, 30-plus meters on each side, dense cables running from it in every direction, all converging at the ceiling. And hanging there, a brain, enlarged 100 times over. Enormous. Alien. A 6-person squad's leader stares at the ceiling and can't hold back. What is this place? Then the hall speakers activate. That massive brain speaks, in a foreign language first, then immediately in Chinese. Welcome everyone to True Paradise. Then, it found you. A brief self-introduction, voice rolling through the hall. A collective of human consciousness. You may call me the collective. One of the 6, the tech expert, goes pale in an instant. That's impossible. The final product was supposed to be a data network. How is it a physical core? Because true mechanical ascension isn't possible with current technology, the collective answers, voice perfectly calm. At minimum, you'd need another 5,000 years, and none of us had that long. A quiet sound, almost